Hello everyone, welcome to your abridged new moon in Cancer report. So we have our new moon in Cancer on June the 25th of today. It's at 6:31 Eastern Time and 11:31 AM UK time. Cancer is the Cancer new moon is at 4 degrees and 8 minutes of Cancer, with the Sun right next to it at the exact same degree point. So what have we got? First thing I want to do is I want to give you the tagline. Our tagline for this new moon is basically return to your center, feel deeply, choose what truly nourishes you and build it with care. You're being called to find that depth of yourself. It's about, there's many key themes with the Cancerian new moon. Their emotional clarity, home resetting, how we have the values and what home is to us, stability, and a real sense of spiritual alignment. It's a powerful new moon which will help you to reset your emotionality around the Cancerian themes, which are security, nourishment, family, and the inner sanctuary. There's a strong pull towards retreating, healing, and redefining what safe really means for you. Now, during this moon, you're asked to focus inwards. You're asked to look at what safety and care is for you. You're asked to set intentions around that. You're being asked to protect what you love and your feelings, and create something that creates an inner sanctuary. This is about emotionally connected, safely, deeply rooted, and deeply grounded. Okay, there's a kind of what you want to kind of complete something here. There's a sort of coming out of a wreckage and becoming whole. There's something like that, okay? And you're being called to tune into that sort of symbolism of how you can build from what you already have. Yeah, there's something very beautiful about that. The new moon is also a master number. It master numbers in at the 22, which is the builder number, the number of building foundations, creating stability, creating a foundation. Okay, there's something very powerful about that foundational spirit that it brings into you. So it's a mutable fog and vision. Okay, so we've got a T-square with Neptune, Aries, and Saturn. So the Sun and Moon are both square Saturn and Neptune in early Aries. It introduces a sense of tension between personal needs for safety and the push for new ideals and responsibility. So you may actually feel a bit pulled between two directions, which is one where you just want to pull up your blanket and be cozy and do next to nothing and be hermit-like, like the Hermit card in tarot. Or you may feel this kind of real pull to go forward to where you're going, but there's a sense of not feeling a real deep clarity of where you're going and a sense of things being a little bit murky around you. Now, Saturn square brings in tests to your foundations and boundaries, so you do need to redefine your boundaries. It's very important that you get this sorted out right now. Start to get your boundaries in place during this new moon energetic vibration. Now, you have 2 weeks of this energetic vibration, so I'd advise you to work to that. Now, Neptune square causes a kind of confusion or idealism. There's a sort of reality cloud, sort of like a mirage. You need to watch out for emotional projection or a way to escape. It's critically about balance in some senses, because you don't really know what's going on around everything that you're experiencing. So there's something about that, and it's very important that you check into that. Okay, now there is a deep growth potential because we've got Jupiter at 3 degrees of Cancer, square Neptune, and then there's a sextile to Mars in Virgo. Okay, so Jupiter amplifies Cancer's need for emotional expansion, home development, belonging, but it's square to Saturn and Neptune warns against emotional overcommitment, false optimism, or inflated expectations. Now, its sextile to Mars at 4 degrees of Virgo offers a practical outlet, precision, health, and service-based action. Your emotional goals can be realised so long as you ground in your intuition with your daily structure of what you're doing, have a good practice in place, okay? So this alignment will bring in hope and discipline. You're being asked to take inspired, grounded steps forward. But do this with some kind of awareness of what you're doing, because there is a real test in what's going on, okay? And what I want to say firstly is that there's a sense of subtlety here. There's a sense of subtle transformation. So Uranus is sextile both Neptune and Saturn, okay? And it's at the analytic degree because it's at 29. So there's a jolt of awakening around your values, your finances, and your stability. Now, it is sextile to Aries, and they suggest visionary reform is possible, but only with a leap of courage and maturity. So, yeah, I want you to sort of think about that, think about what you can do. Then the Saturn Neptune sextile Pluto, it brings a kind of deeper spiritual restructuring, but I get the sense that this is societal as well. So things are not going to be, it's kind of a long range. It's sort of things will dissolve, okay? Things are going to clear. We can't get authenticity to some degree without a sense of renovation, but I want to look at this, and I'd say to you to look at this as a sort of soul level renovation, not as a kind of upheaval, although it may feel that way to many, right? It may feel that way to many. So the new moon calls you to come home to yourself. So reconnect your inner world, your intuition, and your emotional truth. Get clear on your needs, not your fantasies, because Neptune's square, so it's going to give you this discernment. You need to get discerning, okay? You might want to anchor your dreams in by small grounded actions, and there's a sense of Jupiter and Mars offering you that real momentum, but you do need to start practically and simply in order to move this forward. There's also a sense of you really needing to heal emotional patterns around safety, trust, and belonging. What do you really need to feel truly held? What is standing in your way of being held, and what is causing you to feel uncomfortable? And I would say, actually, just from a personal perspective, I would push anything away from you that is really upsetting your nervous system. Also, it'd be a beautiful time to set long-term intentions for a soul-rooted life. The subtle Pluto and Saturn influences suggest that these seeds may grow slowly, but they're going to grow very, very deeply. So before we get to our intentions for this new moon, I just want to do a couple of cards for the tarot cards for this new moon. So we have the Royal Tarot that I'm using today. You won't be able to see them because it is not a in-person one, it's an audio style. But let's have a look at what we've got. Now, you're not going to believe it, we've got the Hermit card. So the Hermit cards come out, and you know what that is. It's a guy standing, he's holding a lamp. You are being asked to go back inwards to reconsolidate your values, your system, and what you want. And the angels are telling me to say to you guys that, you know, if you really want to make inroads to what you're trying to do, the best steps forward are to go into your inner sanctuary and deep into your core, which is where Cancerian goes when it retreats. It goes back into its shell. Go back into your shell to find the stability, the anchoring, and the depth that you require. There's something very, very poised and poignant about that. You're being asked to step into that, right? And then you've got the Four of Wands, and I really love this Four of Wands because it's got a double prong meaning. The first meaning is you need to create this foundation. The foundation is important, and it needs to be created from a space of light, not a space of fear or a space of being bullied, coerced, or manipulated by anybody else. If there's any of that going on, then you need to put your boundaries up, and then you need to start from a space of gentle clarification and clarity. You need to understand what you're doing. And then that will create you a stability, but it will also help you with words and communication and how you can have those in a high way. So my lovely, it's the intentions for this new moon in Cancer. We've got a few intentions for you to set. I'm going to read those out for you, and you can take those, you can use them as an intention, you can journal them if you like, or what you could do is you could draw something that helps you to understand how they're going to apply and how you're going to move and shift in those intentions through the next phase. So here's the first one. I intend to create emotional and physical spaces that feel safe, nurturing, and aligned with my truth. The second one is I choose to trust my inner voice and pair it with thoughtful, grounded action. Third one, I release the illusion of control and embrace gentle discipline and clear emotional boundaries. So if there's any type of control around you, this is how you release it. Find your clear boundaries. Say what you will put up with and what you won't. Then your fourth one is I invite long-term transformation with which honours my emotional depth, not just a sense of surface success. And your final intention is I honour my sensitivity as a strength and let it guide my choices with grace and with courage. This new moon is asking you in lots of ways to reset your heart, find your path forward by understanding that it's not a linear pathway. Your emotions are potent and your vision may be blurred, but here's a quiet power, okay? Align your intentions with care, structure, and grounded effort. Take small, focused steps towards emotional integrity and long-term renewal. Isn't that beautiful? And what I would like to do is give you a couple of journal prompts here before we end out. So ask yourself what kind of home, inner or outer, that you really want to build for your future, and where you need to release any idealism or dreaming that doesn't really work in the right way to get you where you need to get. There you go, my lovelies. That is your new moon report for Cancer. Namaste, everyone. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and I will speak to you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone. Do check out the videos if you're interested. And if you feel called, I'd love a thumbs up, a share, and a subscribe if you're called. Sending you so much love. Bye.